Hello, welcome to Zentangle Explore. My name is Esther Piszczek, and I am a certified Zentangle teacher. And this is a class where we draw one Zentangle pattern really, really slowly. And all you will need is a couple pieces of paper you can hold in the palm of your hand, but even if you just have a piece of copy paper, that's perfect. This is watercolor paper in case I want to add color later, and you will need a pen. I have a 01 Micron here. I don't know what I have here. And I have a ballpoint. So if you just have a ballpoint and a piece of copy paper or a grocery list, absolutely perfect. You can draw and enjoy in this class. And if you have a little bit other fancier supplies, that's perfect too. And if you want to add color, you can do that as well. So we are going to do a little breathing meditation to begin so that we can just slow down so we can draw slow lines, and then I will change my camera and we will draw. So you can get nice and comfortable in your seat. I'm going to close my eyes. You can close yours if you'd like. We're just going to check in with our breath. Hello, breath. Welcome to this moment. Welcome to wherever you are finding yourself in the world and where you are connecting with me. Whether it's in person, live on this class, or whether it's on the replay. Wherever you are, we are connecting in perfect time and in perfect ways. Just allow your breath to be exactly as it is. Just your simple, gentle awareness, saying hello to your breath, noticing its components is enough. Find your inhale, a little rest at the top, and then the exhale, a little rest at the bottom. Perhaps notice where you can feel that breath in your body, what it feels like to breathe in a body. Perhaps there's some coolness or warmth under your nose, back of your throat. Maybe you can feel an expansion in your back or belly, your chest, as your lungs balloon with oxygen. And then release, softly release, gentle contraction to allow that carbon dioxide to go out and nourish the plants and the trees, all of the leaves. Just noticing this simple practice of breathing, gentle awareness, focused attention, allows everything else to just float away, just for a moment. We allow ourselves the simple pleasure of breathing. When you're ready, let's take a big inhale together. And a nice sighing exhale. Allowing that sound vibration to massage your skin and your ears and your organs. Nice big inhale together. Nice releasing exhale. One last big inhale together. And a big exhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and know that whatever we create together will be perfect just as it is. Okay, thank you, everybody. It's so helpful to just take a moment to just breathe so that we can just let everything else go. And when we pick up our pen, we can just draw nice slow lines. So I'm going to change my camera and we will breathe and we will draw. We will breathe and draw. Okay, so I have a couple pieces of watercolor paper here. Whatever paper you have will be great. Whatever shape they are is perfect. They don't even need to be even. I have a 01. I have a graphic one, which is just a thicker pen. And I have a ballpoint off my desk. So whatever works for you will work. And I actually have a purple highlighter. I love adding color with highlighter. It's a nice, simple, inexpensive way to add color. And if you take a watercolor brush with water on it, you can actually paint with highlighter, which is super fun. All right, so I'm going to teach you this tangle and then we're going to explore it, and you get to explore it however you like. So just take whatever I'm doing as an invitation. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle of my page here, and I'm going to draw a nice slow line. It does not need, yours doesn't need to be where mine is. And then a nice aura line, just mimics the line that came before. I'm going to zoom this in for you. There we go. So we have these two parallel lines, just a little stem. And then on the top of this line, we're just going to start. I'm going to turn this way. So I'm going to start here on the stem and then close off this top and come back to the stem. So just a little cap. So if we turn this vertical again, it's just a little cap. And then I'm going to do that again, but come down further on the stem. So now we have a little ring. And this tangle is named, I actually can't pronounce this tangle. It's Tootrz. It's Tootrz, and it's by Hilde van Ginhoven. And the next part of this is just a little hat. And your little hat can go, hers was a little straight. Mine's getting a little interesting. I love that since this is an exploratory class. Interesting is excellent. And then a little hat. And then on top of hers, she has a little triangle. Now, this is very specific to draw. There's a lot of parts to this, but don't worry. Once we get going, you'll be able to add parts and subtract parts and do all sorts of wild things with this really fun tangle. And then we have another little aura. I love these little aura tangles. Another little hat. It's almost like a little candy corn. And then off the top, which is so delightful, are these little swirls. Another little swirl. So it could be a flower with a little interesting bug on top, or it could be a bug plant. It could be whatever you like. And then you can do whatever you'd like with the bottom here. You can, some ideas would be to just to close it off. You can, what she had done in hers was to create a little substrate there, a place for it to land. And then what I love about this tangle is that there's all kinds of opportunities to decorate it and make it your own. So one thing that you can do is just color in. It doesn't have a lot of black yet, and black grounds the tangle. So you can just color in that little space. And then however you'd like to decorate the rest of this, this is just begging for some sort of decoration. You can do that. So another thing that she had done was add little black stripes here, striations. So now that we know the components of this tangle, we can do whatever we like with it. So we can curve the stem. We could change the shapes. So we have the stem, we have the little cap. You could stop this tangle right here and just say, I'm just going to put this little buggy guy on the top for our little triangles and a little antenna. And that could be your tangle. So just two little aura lines, a little cap, another aura line, some more caps. They can look however you'd like them to look. There could be as many as you want. You can make them big, you can make them small, you can make them wiggly. You can choose to put this little triangle hat on here. You can choose to leave the antenna off, leave them on. You could add 6 antenna. However this looks for you is absolutely perfect. These can come off the page, and you can start a new drawing whenever you'd like. Exploring is all about doing what speaks to you. So if you're drawing this and saying, well, I mean, what she's doing is fine, but I want to try something really different. I'm going to do this in a brand new way. That is absolutely perfect. I encourage you to follow that inspiration. What if this little triangle hat changes shape? So this is a great tangle for just playing with adding color, adding other patterns to these shapes, but you don't need to add other patterns. What if these connect? You could have a whole group of little beings here by the time we're done drawing in this class. If you're feeling a little wild and crazy, you can give them names, little personalities. Feel free to turn your tile and change the width of the stem. You can make these into little mushrooms. I love exploring because there aren't any rules to it. It's really whatever occurs to you. Is worthy of exploring and trying it, trying something new. And what's great about this tangle is particularly well suited for adding to envelopes and all kinds of delightful spaces asking for a little touch of artwork because it has so much personality to it. Just breathing, drawing nice, slow lines. No need to rush. We have lots of time to draw together. Sometimes I get really excited about an idea I want to explore, and I find myself speeding up to remind myself to just slow down. It's very difficult to hear our own inner voice, our own inspiration. We're racing from thing to thing. Slowing down is so helpful for being able to quiet the mind, quiet the nervous system. And a really beautiful tool for that is our built-in breath. It's with us all the time. It never leaves us. From the minute we enter this world, the minute we leave this world, we have the opportunity to breathe. And because it's so automatic and required for us to live, we sometimes forget that we have a choice about it. We sometimes forget that it's a tool, it's a built-in helper. It's almost our little power pack battery for inspiration and connection. And we take our breath for granted and we just don't pay attention to it, then we miss out on the opportunity to learn about all of its gifts and blessings and how helpful it is. It's like a built-in spa treatment, and it's absolutely ours. Nobody can breathe for us. So we have the opportunity to use our breath as we like, whether it's sitting in meditation or running marathons or becoming trained in breath work and teaching other people how to breathe and connect to their breath. helping to get through pain or child labor, birthing process. Releasing stress. So many applications. Oops. Other direction. This is such a delightful tangle. Makes me smile. My hand is a little shaky this morning. My lines are getting a little wiggly. And this is an excellent tangle for wiggly lines. And any tangles actually could tangle for wiggly lines because they add so much expression. It's really endless what you can do with this one. Maybe if you drew the tangle as it was by the creator, and then you just found, and your exploration was all about adding color or pattern to it, even just pattern or even just color, you could come up with so many different variations. And all of them, I would suggest, would be absolutely delightful. You could draw it the exact same way and just add different antenna on the top, and that would change the tangle and the expression of it in really fun ways, just by making that simple change. Sometimes exploring can get a little overwhelming, and it's helpful to realize that all that really
if you want to change something, all that needs to happen is changing one little piece. And sometimes it's just changing your perspective of what it is that you're drawing. And you can feel free to start a new tile whenever you like. You don't need to stay on this one with me. Just like in the meditation, just noticing the different components. I mean, every time you draw it, even if you're drawing the same tangle, it's not going to be drawn the same because we're drawing by hand. And that's really fantastic. So even if you're not trying to change it, it's going to change. And if you can embrace those changes instead of critiquing them or making them wrong in your mind, then you can be inspired to change it in new and different ways. So if you just drew the tangle the same, and you just decide you're going to change one simple thing about it, and you change that one thing over and over and over again, then the entire thing would change. It's almost like genetics. We have one trait that just changes, and then it alters the functionality and the expression of the entire organism. And all of a sudden, that organism is adapted to, I don't know, it could be anything. Maybe breathing underwater, or living in a hotter climate, or surviving really cold winters. And the entire organism didn't need to change, but just that one little piece of DNA needed to change, genetic code. We're kind of doing the same thing here, only in this really safe way, because all we have is pen and paper and our imagination and our willingness and our permission, the permission we're giving ourselves to spend time drawing. And that is no small thing. That is a huge, amazing thing. I met with somebody online yesterday, and I was teaching him how to draw a pattern. And he got all nervous, and it's like, oh, drawing, I'm not good at drawing. This is really hard. It's like, it's just lines. You can hold a pen and draw a line. And you can draw an infinite number of things. It's not so much what you're drawing or your skill in drawing, but your ability to feel vulnerable in the process of drawing, your ability to hold space for yourself while you're learning to draw, your ability to be willing to show up to the page over and over again, even if what you're drawing is not matching your expectation. It takes courage and bravery. And as my mother would say, stick-to-itiveness, ability to commit to something, to see the larger vision, to hold space for that, to hold on to that, when what's appearing on the page is not precisely what you imagined it might be. Sometimes what appears on the page is so much better. When you release those expectations, you realize it's so much better than the thing you thought you wanted in the first place. We're all balled up in our insistence about what needs to show up, then we don't have the ability to notice what actually is showing up. And the same is with our breath. We're so focused on what we're trying to accomplish, we don't recognize that our breath is a partner in that, and a very helpful partner that actually helps us accomplish what we want to accomplish. I often hold my breath when I get frustrated or upset or anxious. And that is the absolute opposite of what is helpful. For accomplishing what I want to accomplish. So you can add weighting to these lines. You can add rounding to the corners where things intersect. There's all sorts of lovely ways to add just a touch of black to really add expressiveness to your lines and to your drawing. Just very simple ways of doing that. This would be a really good one to draw on a really large sheet of paper or in a big journal with a big fat pen. You can kind of really zoom into all the details, really fill in with other patterns. If that's what you want to do. And you get to choose how this pattern shows up on your page. And I would suggest that however it's showing up is absolutely perfect, because every line we draw informs the next line. All of those really fantastic artists, they didn't get to be fantastic by just drawing pretty, beautiful things. It's not how it works. You need to go through the messy middle, the adolescent stage of drawing, of living. I often tell my students that if we don't want to kill off our drawings, if we killed off all of the teenagers who were pimply and having trouble in school and acting out, we would never have functional adults. And so you don't get good functional drawings by killing off all of your disappointments. And so this way of drawing helps us to embrace everything as valuable, because everything that you're drawing is valuable. It's never been drawn before. It will never be drawn again. That is amazing. So many options appear when we say, whatever I draw is good. Doesn't have to be winning any art awards. Doesn't have to be ready to go on a wall anywhere. Doesn't even have to be frameable. But everything, when we come to drawing with that attitude of all of it is good, then we're able to, it opens our eyes to seeing all of the potential, the possibility, the lines that can be something more than what you've drawn. When we look at what we've drawn and say, this is bad, it's not good enough, I don't like it, it's terrible, then we miss all of the little gems that are in there that are just waiting. They're just staring at us saying, choose me, draw more of this, explore further in this direction. And we miss all of that. We think that there's nothing inspiring out there in the world when it's really just right in front of us. It's right in front of us. And there's nothing we need to do except be open to seeing it, being open to accepting the marks on the page as valuable, as useful, as informative. We're more open to doing this as children before we have all these adult expectations. We get good at doing things, and we feel so good and so comfortable being good at doing things that when we have to learn new things, it becomes really kind of traumatizing, actually. Because all of a sudden we're not the best and the brightest, or everything that we create isn't automatically fantastic. And you only get through that by having the courage to sit with your vulnerability and to say, I'm going to keep going. This thing that I want to create is more important to me than me wanting to always feel like I'm the best, or that what I'm doing is beautiful. You don't get to beautiful without going through the messy middle. It's just the way creation works. And in that messy middle has so much joy and excitement and passion and beauty in it. And we can see what we're creating as a step to creating something new instead of a failure. Or a comparison. And life gives us all kinds of opportunities for both of those things. Opportunities to embrace what we're creating as unique and special and valuable, or to compare it to everybody else and feel terrible about ourselves and our abilities. And the thing is that we are in complete control of which one we choose. We are always, always, always in complete control. We start to listen to other people tell us that we're terrible and bad and we should stop doing what we're doing because it's not good enough. That's our choice, to listen to them instead of listening to our little inner guidance, which says, this is exciting and maybe it doesn't look like I want right now, but I know if I keep going, I'm going to get there. To be willing to do that takes so much bravery and so much courage. I applaud you for picking up a pen and coming to this class. It is not easy to do. Showing up with a pen, accepting what you see on the page, drawing in real time, drawing on real paper instead of on a computer tablet, which takes a little bit of the nuance out of what we're creating. And there's time and place for that. I would suggest that you learn so much more about yourself, about creation, about inspiration, by actually coming back to the page over and over and over again, even when it feels hard. These little guys are so sweet. I just love this tangle. And I am so glad that all of you, no matter where you are in the world, have come to draw it with me. It's very lovely. Okay, that went really fast. Here are my creations. I hope that you have enjoyed drawing this tangle. I hope you continue to explore it. It's a holiday weekend here in the United States, and it's a great holiday week tangle to explore, no matter where you choose to explore it, or on the page or an envelope, birthday card. Thank you so much for coming to draw with me. It's so fun always to breathe and slow down and draw interesting tangles. If you would like to see more of my work, you can do that at eternalpossibility.com. You can find my classes on rejuventangle.com right now, and you can donate to these classes at paypal.me/eternalpossibility. So I hope you enjoyed this drawing experience. What is up with my camera? And I hope to draw with you again soon.